Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday and welcome to my live. And if I'm no longer live, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations and I'm an independent designer with Couture. And tonight we're going to do a really fun project. I haven't tried it. I haven't tested it. I have seen several other designers do this process. So we will be experimenting together. Again, welcome. Once you hop on, if you would just tell me that you're here and say hi. I'm using an online platform called StreamYard, so it doesn't tell me who is watching. So I would like to know that you're here, so just pop in and say hi in the comments. If you are watching from my group, the Crafty Collab, make sure that you give StreamYard your permission to use your profile name and pic. Otherwise, you just show up as a Facebook user and I don't know who you are. Hello, Regina. How are you? Thanks for hopping on my live. I'm just going to do a few little housekeeping things. We're going to be using the 3 Creative Kickstart transfers. This one is the one we'll be using tonight, the Cook, Eat, Clean, Repeat. We also have Blah, Blah, Blah Coffee. And then it also says Love is Brewing. And then we have the Work Hard, Snack Often, and Love You to the Fridge and Back. And these 3 transfers are only available while supplies last through Wednesday. So if you haven't gotten them yet, you should hop on my website and pick them up. And you can buy them at retail for $14.99 per transfer. Or if you spend $75, you can pick 1 transfer for free. And then it goes up in increments. If you spend another certain amount, you can get 2 free. And if you spend the upper threshold amount, then you can pick all 3 for free. And we have some retiring transfers that are also 20% off today through Wednesday to celebrate Couture's 4th birthday this weekend. So use that to your advantage. Add some of those retiring transfers at a discount. And then you can earn some of these Creative Kickstart transfers for free. So tonight, again, we're going to use this Cook, Eat, Clean, Repeat. And I also have a 9x12 box frame. This is a wood one-time use only frame, although you could technically chalk on it, wipe it off with water. It will stain, but you could easily sand over it, and then paint over it again and reuse it. You can also use the back side. You can paint the outside frame. You can paint the inside. So tonight we're going to do a little painting with our chalk paste. Go back to my comments here. So we're just going to take the chalk paste. I'm going to put it in a little color tray, and we're going to do a little bit of background painting on the box frame before we chalk our transfer on. So I'm going to grab, my water's over here. I'm just going to put a little bit of chalk paste in this color tray. I don't know quite how much I'm going to need. I'm going to put that aside. Then I'm just going to spray some distilled water in it. And I'm using distilled water just because it doesn't react with the chalk paste like regular water would. Although I'll just be throwing most of this away. So I'm just going to dilute this to where it's more like a watercolor and it's a little more paintable. Regina, what are you up to this evening? Are you getting ready for the Etsy 101 course tomorrow night in your group? I'm hoping I'll be able to catch that one live. I seem to keep missing all of your lives. I'm going to add a little bit more water. So I kind of want this thinned out so it'll dry a lot faster. And it'll be more kind of a watercolor. I might add a little bit more. that's good for now. We'll give it a try. Put that there. So I just want to, I'm going to use one of these cheap chippy brushes. A lot of digital designs. So you've been busy on the old Procreate, huh? So I'm just going to use one of these inexpensive chippy brushes because in this case, I do want a lot of my brush strokes to show, which usually is not the case. And that's why I don't like these brushes, is because they're always losing their bristles. So I'm just going to do some paint strokes across the box frame, trying to leave as many of those brush strokes in as I can. Bristles galore. Oh, thanks for sharing, Regina. I appreciate that. So everyone. So I'm just painting my background. And I don't want it perfect for once. This is one of those projects where you kind of want it rustic. I want to see all those brush strokes. I'm just going to lay my transfer over it just to kind of make sure I have most of the areas where I'm going to chalk covered, and I think I'm good. So I'm just going to lay this to the side, and I can put it back in my tub later. It won't affect anything. Okay, so now I'm going to get my blow dryer and I'm going to dry it. So what orders are you working on this week, Regina? Always the flamingos. Well, if you wouldn't have to make so many cute designs, you wouldn't have to paint so many. That is dry. Next, I'm going to grab my wax. Because I'm chalking over chalk, I don't want my transfer to pull this base paint off. So I'm going to wax over it. You're a busy lady, Regina. I'm just going to take my min wax. You can also use the surface wax from Couture. I just have this big tub, so I'm trying to get it used up. And I'm just going to, I've gotten too much. And I'm just going to wax over this. This will kind of put a protective layer between this paint and my transfer so that it doesn't pull up all of that paint. I don't want to rub too much because, as you can see, it's reactivating that paste. But I just want a good layer. Okay. Close the lid. And so, oh, they're over here. I've rearranged and now I can't find anything. I'm kind of out of, can't find where any of my stuff is. Okay, so with any of our transfers, if you see these white lines, they're cut apart lines. And some designers just cut straight through their backer sheet, but I like to flip this over so I have a flat surface. I like to just put my transfer trimmers, or any even scissors will work, just underneath the transfer and above the backer sheet. So I'm just cutting along that white line and it leaves my backer intact. Otherwise, I end up with 50,000 pieces of backer sheet. And when you have 5 or 6 people at a workshop, you know, the backer sheets start to add up, and it just was too many loose pieces. So again, I can just run my transfer trimmers down that cut line. I don't think I'm going to use these little pieces, so I'm not going to cut those tonight. And these are reusable sticky back silkscreen transfers. And because they are reusable, every time I clean them, I want to put them back on this backer sheet. So I'm just going to put the name of the transfer, which is Cook, Eat, Clean, at the top. So that way, for instance, if I was using all 3 of these transfers, I would know which backer goes on which. They're the same size, but it helps just to make sure that they're all labeled. And these are reusable about 8 to 10 times. Depending on how you take care of them, you can get more than 8 to 12 times. Nope, these are reusable. And they do have, anywhere you see the see-through, or in this case, it would be the white, that's where the silk screen is. So it keeps all those little negative pieces in, like the A's, inside of the P. All of that is contained, and so you don't lose any pieces. Because every time I make a vinyl decal for a tumbler, I'm always losing the dot to the I or the period at the end of the phrase. And because these are sticky back, I want to fuzz, especially since I'm working on wood and a painted surface, because I don't want the sticky of the transfer to pull up my paint or any raw wood fibers. And then once you clean it, you can wash the fuzzies right off. So I'm going to do it a few times just so I know that it's less sticky. So I'm going to do the cook and the eat on one line, and I'm not going to put it down quite yet. Stick it down all the way because I want to kind of get my spacing figured out. You know, since I eyeball everything. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Thanks for hopping on. Sherry, where are you from? Okay. So I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and stick both of these down. And I'm just going to press where that silk screen area is, just to make sure I get a good stick and there aren't any air bubbles in those silk screen areas. So I'm just going to kind of go along the outline of all those letters, and then the little hearts. And like I have a big air bubble here, and it doesn't really matter here. I just don't want any where the silk screens are. You're in Wisconsin, Sherry? Where at in Wisconsin? Okay. So now I'm going to take my squeegee and my white chalk paste, And I'm just going to dip my squeegee in my chalk paste and get a fair amount. If you have too much, you can always just wipe it off and put it back near Madison. That's cool. What's the weather like there today? I don't know if the tornadoes and bad storms lately have gotten to Wisconsin, but I know they've been up in that area, Michigan, Illinois. So if you get too much, you can just wipe it off later, but it's just like you're buttering toast or frosting a cake. So you're just going to wipe it on. Be mindful of your edges of your transfer, because on this wood surface, it won't wash off as easily as it would on a chalkboard surface. And then you want to make sure you go back over it and get all of those little lines out where the edges of my squeegee have been. It kind of creates some lines, and those will show once you pull up your transfer. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that part up. I'm going to be nice and slow about it because I don't want it to pull up any of that chalk paste that's underneath. Voila, that never gets old. I love to peel and reveal what's underneath. So I'm going to let that dry while I do the clean and the repeat. Again, I'm just dipping my squeegee in my chalk paste and getting a fair amount. Then I'm just going to drag it down those letters. These work great on they're made for chalkboard surfaces, but they'll work on wood, they'll work on glass, they'll work on metal. And the nice thing about chalkboards and glass and metal is that once you're done with the design, you can wipe it off and start over. But with wood, it's pretty much a kind of a one and done kind of surface. Sherry says it's rained so much the last week or two, but you needed it desperately. It's supposed to warm back up into the mid or higher 80s with the sun, and then into next week. Well, I hope the rain stops soon, although if it's anywhere like Kansas, we do need the rain. With the wheat harvest, and then corn's growing, and I think soybeans are growing. I'm not a big 90s girl. I'm more of an 80s kind of girl. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and peel it. You want to try to peel straight up towards the ceiling and not back like this, because you could stretch your transfer. And voila! Ta-da! And so when I'm done here, I'll just take my transfers to the sink and wash them off front and back. And then once they're dry, I put them back on their backer sheet and put them back in my storage. Pretty easy. So there's our cook, eat, clean, and repeat. Again, this transfer is only available through Wednesday. Thank you, Sherry. So if you're wanting to get it, I might go ahead and hop on. All my links are in the description of the video, but I'll show you. Here's the rest of that transfer. And then we've got the work hard, snack often, love you to the fridge and back, the blah, blah, blah coffee. And I did this one. Of course, I don't think I did it on a live, but I wood burned this into a little wooden plaque. And then this other side says, Love is Brewing. Again, these are only available through Wednesday. And if you stack it with the retiring transfers, you could get quite the deal and get up to 3 of them for free. And I did want to show you one more thing. We also have this Club Couture transfer. It is only available through Wednesday. Club Couture is a 3-month subscription by mail. You get an exclusive B-size transfer plus 3 chalk paste singles for $14.99. in the US and $19.99 in Canada, and that is free shipping on that. It will change on July 1st, so there'll be a new transfer available on the 1st. So if you're into hummingbirds, I would check out the Club Couture subscription in the next couple of days. Club Couture members also get $4.95 flat shipping on any order outside of their Club Couture. And then there are monthly sales promotions for Club Couture members as well. So it's a great little DIY monthly subscription that comes straight to your mailbox. It is, again, a 3-month commitment, but then after that, you are welcome to cancel at any time. And I will give you a hint. July's transfer has something to do with fruit, and it looks similar to, let's just say it coordinates really well with this fabric, which is why I got this fabric. So if you're into that kind of thing, you might check out July's transfer, and I'll hopefully be going live with that, with the project with that later on in the week. If there aren't any questions, I will hop off for the evening. It was a really quick project. I think it turned out great. I haven't used these box frames very often. They're a great little surface. And again, I have all of my links in the description. I also have a cart link where you can go to my website. It automatically puts everything that I used tonight into your cart, and you can adjust it however you need. If you already have white paste, you can remove that from your cart, or you can kind of just shop around and browse the products. But thanks, Regina. I need to decide if I'm going to add any ribbon or not to it, or some twine to dress it up, or I might just leave it the way it is. Maybe put some farm beads. I could put some farm beads as a hanger. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. So I'll be thinking about that. If you guys have any suggestions, comment. Feel free to add those in the comments, and I'll check those out after the video. So I don't know. I'll be thinking about that. What can I do to embellish this? And if you have any great ideas, let me know, and I'll be checking those out in the comments. But otherwise, I'm going to hop off for the evening, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Have a great evening.